Hi guys, Kim here. Welcome to Backyard Blooms. In today's video, we are going to talk about Gara. And if you want butterflies dancing in your garden, then this is the plant for you. When I read these specifications on this plant, I got very tickled and I felt like it was almost like a poem. So I'm going to read that to you. And sometimes words is just as pretty as the plant. So this specific flower I bought from Ace Hardware. So actually they have a great selection. If you have an Ace Hardware close to you, stop by and just see if you can find anything different. This is a white Gara and I fell in love with Gara. I actually have some Gara in a different part of my garden that I'm going to share with you, and I just absolutely love the airiness and the flow that Gara gives you in the garden. But listen to this. This one is called Belleza White Wand Flower, and it is a Gara, and sometimes its name is called a bee blossom. It's noted for its excellent branching and short flower stems. It's bushy. It is a clump-forming perennial with graceful stems studded with airy-looking star-shaped white flowers. Blooming early summer into early fall, the blossoms flutter for months, along with the slender stems resembling clouds of butterflies. So like I said, if you want butterflies in your garden, this not only looks like butterflies in your garden, but it attracts butterflies and bees as well. I've already have some planted here in my garden. It did not take long at all for the bees to find this Gara. The foliage consists of narrow, elliptic, dark green leaves splashed with red. Now I don't really see a lot of red on this Gara yet, but maybe once I get it into the ground, into the full sun, maybe that red stems will start to come. It adds an interesting fine texture in the garden. When its flowers dancing and dangling above the red tingled foliage, Gara is excellent for mixed perennial gardens and is ideal for containers. Performs well in high humidity and extreme heat. It can take full sun. It likes moist but well-drained soil. Can be grown in part shade but does best in full sun. It's stunning in small groups or large drifts. So actually I am doing more of a drift. I bought 5 of these and I'm going to drift these into my garden. And when I turn the camera around after I read all this poem to you, then I'll show you what my drift looks like. It is very low care and it actually thrives when it's neglected. It makes good cut flowers. It is disease and pest free. It is deer resistant. By removing spent flowering stalks, it will help encourage new stems to grow. It is hardy in zone 6 to 9 and it looks great in different garden styles. Different garden styles include city or courtyard, an informal or cottage garden, a Mediterranean garden, prairie or meadow gardens. This flower specifically made the award of a garden merit of the Royal Horticultural Society. Division is not necessary because it grows from a thick tap root. So with all that lovely words and all these little dancing butterflies in your garden, have I not talked you into planting some Gara yet? So I'm going to turn around the camera and we're going to show you how I planted one of the Garas, and I'm going to show you the rest that I planted in the garden as a drift. So like I said, I bought 5 of these white Garas and I already love the texture and the movement that it brings in this one little area. I'm in my cottage garden and there is one. You can see that I've got bees all over, the catmint, the nepeta, this is Walker's Low. And then I've got the second one right here. And another one right there. And then I'm gonna move around this container right here. How pretty that is. This was made for my hummingbird specifically. And then I have another one right over here. So the wind's not really blowing really well right now, but you can kind of see when the wind does blow that they will just dance around. And I do think they look like a cloud of butterflies. And while I'm at it, I do have to brag on this Boom Chocolata. Look at this in the garden. I have 3 of these and I have them kind of like in a drift, I guess you should say. But they are so pretty in the garden as well. The Boom Chocolata is a hardy geranium. I feel like it makes a good, great ground cover. So I think I'm going to plant this last one that I have right there, and that will give me my 5. And like I said, I have them in a drift. So you can plant these close together to give you a big impact. When I say plant together of multiples, that means 2 or more. I like to specifically do 3s, 5s, instead of 7s. So I chose 5 for this plant. So this is the pink Gara that I have, and you can see that the wind's blowing just a little bit and how it dances around in the garden here. So let me just go ahead. There's some really pretty things in the garden that I can see. I have some daylilies that are blooming right now that looks gorgeous. Let me just share some of these blooms with you. Look how pretty and beautiful that is. I love how frilly the outer edges is with that yellow. Just look at the center. Of course, you can see these little butterflies just dancing around this daylily. Absolutely gorgeous. And there's another one peeking down here, right there. Gorgeous. This daylily is just full of blooms right now. Here comes the wind. Look at them dancing around. These are the containers that I have that are more of my part shade. Of course, these super bells like full sun, but they get a little bit of sun in the afternoon. They're doing great. This is a super bells currant punch. You can see that tag right there. Black currant punch, actually. And then I have the double white impatiens here as well. And then looking up here, have some, I think that's called portulaca. I'm not sure on that term, but it looks really pretty with the double up impatiens right there. And then again, the black currant punch. I just have 3 plants in this container right here. I do love this combination right here with my Gara and my tall phlox, which the tall phlox is about ready to be out of bloom. But this combination to me is just precious. And then I have a little bit of a different, this is not the punkster variety, but I think it's the Lo and Behold butterfly bush. Look how pretty that is in the garden. And these Thomas Graham David Austin roses are looking gorgeous. I'm starting to get my second flush of this gorgeous flower. I love the peachy yellow that this flower provides to me. And then you can see that it's starting to kind of intermingle with my coleus right here. And those pesky little June bugs. Oh, so aggravating. I have a couple of new blooms about ready to come out on this David Austin rose. When it ages out, it gives you more of a softer yellow peachy color right there. Let me share the Coleus pot with you. This can take part sun, shade, or sun. This one gets some sun and some shade as well. More full sun in the afternoon. And I have a video on me planting this Coleus up. It's nothing but Coleus in here. There's the new watermelon. That one's a mini-me watermelon, stays a little bit smaller. And this chocolate drop will trail over. Those are my spillers. And this ridiculous red and Coleus Dreams right here is my thrillers. They just look really, really pretty together. They play off each other really well, the contrast. And this pot looks gorgeous with this lemon coral sedum. Look how beautiful that sedum is with this Laguna blue. I thought I made a mistake with this blue pot, but I did not. It is gorgeous together. This Millionaire is looking great right now with these Super Bells yellow. Coneflowers are looking gorgeous, intermingled with this catmint. Bubblegum Super Petunias. This container's looking gorgeous as well with the new Super Bells yellow. And then I carried over the same blackcurrant punch that attracts hummingbirds. And this Millionaire, the hummingbirds absolutely love. If you want to attract hummingbirds, then you need the Millionaire in your life. The Millionaire is the name of the Proven Winners plant, but you can also buy it. It's sometimes known as firecracker plant or cupshe. This is the Wine and Roses Wadula. I cut it all the way back because it was getting real leggy and I wanted it to bush out from the bottom. But you can see I have a couple more little blooms trying to flush out there. This is the Cat's Pajamas, Nepeta. Bubblegum, this is a Super Tunia Vista, which is very vigorous, will give me lots of blooms all through the summer. And a lot of times they'll come back year after year, so don't pull those up. And then the Royal Luscious Lantana is looking gorgeous. And then so with the Salvia, this color combination is just really, really pretty right there. Look at this Baptisia. This is what happens when you just let the blooms right there go to pods. They look so pretty when they go to pods. Just gives you a different texture right there. I have lots of coneflowers that I've been working on for the last couple of years, just to give me some more fall color. And you can see that I've got it just mixed down all the way on this border, and it just looks really, really pretty. This right here was the bubblegum that came back last year. And it is the first part of June, so you can prune some of this back so it won't be so leggy and it will get fuller. So I'll do a little short on that. This is the Gara that I just talked about, so I got to plant one more. I have some sedum. And I just planted this coneflower from bare root, and it is so pretty. This was called like a cantaloupe color, I believe. Love that. It plays off really, really well with the candy corn spirea. There's another plant that I just planted of the Gara. I have 3 of these same containers in this cottage garden. I planted 3 of the candy corn spireas, 3 of the chocolata hardy geraniums. And my lavender is starting to rebloom some after the first initial flush. These are the new Proven Winners coneflowers that look absolutely beautiful. The yellow has not bloomed out yet. This one's going to be a yellow. So I got a yellow one there, and then the raspberry beret there, and then the other yellow over there that's not bloomed out yet. There's the last drift of the Gara. Behind it's another bubblegum. This catmint right here, I think this has got spider mites. I do believe. And then I have the yellow lantana, more daylilies. And dahlias are starting to bloom. Another royal luscious lantana. I love this one dahlia. It just has lots of different colors on the same exact plant. And on this side, this is going to be a vanilla Sunday hydrangea. The deer got to prune that one for me, but I might get some more buds out of it because I got some new growth. And then I put a pile of the Milorganite to help combat the deer, and so far they've kept it away, so I need to go buy me another bag and plant some more, or put out some more. I guess I'm not really gonna plant it, am I? And then I bought 3 dahlias this past year. Rose of Sharon has buds all over it. I have a bloom over here. Let me share it with you. Of course, it's on the other side. There she is. Look how pretty. This is part of the hibiscus family. So just to let you know, I'm about 20 minutes away from the airport. So if you hear planes, I'm trying to stop as they fly over, but man, I'm about ready to give up. This is my tall phlox, opening act tall phlox. This Rose of Sharon's not in bloom yet. This is my blue chiffon. Gorgeous bloom there. So this side I do need to work on, trying to fill in. I have some of the dwarf junipers that I have all along down the side here, but I do have lots of different spaces that I could fill in. Could put a lot of stuff here, more opening phlox, more of the butterfly bushes. I have a couple of daylilies there that look like they got snipped by the deer. I have a couple of dahlias that are in bloom here. Not dahlias, daylilies. Another Rose of Sharon. This one's going to be a pink. I did plant some milkweed, some Joe Pye weed right here in hopes to get some monarch butterflies. That is a host plant for them. More daylilies that got snipped by the deer. Jeez. At least they didn't get my puffer fish hydrangea right there. They've already been eaten once. I have some yellow lantana. I think this is the luscious lantana. Another butterfly bush with a big old weed in the middle of it. Look at that. Need to pull that. This is a different type of juniper that looks more yellow in the sun. There's the other side of that baptisia. And this is the pods up close. So they sometimes call this a rattler plant. And then when these in the fall start to turn brown, you could hear the seeds rattle in there. But look at the texture, like it's still gorgeous, even though it's not in bloom anymore. Look where they ate that one too. Oh. This is my yellow yarrow. So, so pretty. Butterflies love that one too. And that's my serendipity. It will bloom later in the fall. And then I do have a little bit of Russian sage here that I struggle with Russian sage. Maybe it's because I just don't neglect. I like to take care of my plants. There's the other side of the Thomas Graham rose with another juniper bug on there. And these are my tea olives. I'm walking on a hill here, so pardon me. And then I have some more coneflower down here, more like a bright orange and a red. And then my hardy hibiscus is looking really good this year. I think this is the 3rd year for this hardy hibiscus, so it's starting to get some height on that one. And then I have some bee balm right there that's not in bloom yet. And we'll take a tour of this side of the garden. This is my new west side garden. We'll take a tour of that soon. I hope that I inspired you to go out and buy some white or pink Gara so you can have butterflies dancing around in your garden. And I hope you enjoyed the cottage garden tour. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.